Hey there, Robert Casella with the Go Lakewood Ranch team. And today we're going to talk about something that I really enjoy talking about, and that's Lakewood Ranch versus Wellen Park. They're kind of cut from the same cloth, but they do have some differences. And oftentimes those differences are what sway one person to go to Wellen Park or Lakewood Ranch. We're going to cover 4 of those today. And since we sell a lot in both, a lot of this is just from experiences that I've had with homeowners over the course of the last several years. And I'm going to share with you what made their decision. And it's usually based on one of these 4 factors. Before we get going, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're rolling out new content every 2 weeks. I love what I do, and I think you'll enjoy what we're gonna offer to you in these videos. All right, let's get started with number 1. All right, so number 1 on the list is Wellen Park is closer to the water. So you're probably about 15 minutes, give or take 15 to 20 minutes, depending on where you're at in Wellen Park. Differently in Lakewood Ranch, you're probably 30, and actually that may be generous, 35 to 45 minutes away from getting to some kind of ocean front here in the local Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota area. So that's quite a big difference, and kind of put that in perspective, you know, what I tell people in Lakewood Ranch is, if you go to the beach, you're going to the beach for the day, right? You grab your beach gear, you're going to spend the day down there, grab something to eat at Lido Key or Siesta Key, go back to the water. You're down there for the day. Differently in Wellen Park, and the nice thing about that is you can go to the beach, come back for lunch, and go back to the beach, and it doesn't feel onerous. I mean, you're 15 to 20 minutes away, and that's really a hop, skip, and the jump in the whole scope of things. And invariably, what would end up happening is when people would come to Lakewood Ranch, they'd say, you know, Robert, we really love Lakewood Ranch. My husband or my wife golfs, but I like to go to the beach. So, you know, that's the one thing that's missing in Lakewood Ranch. So I said, I have something for you. Let's consider Wellen Park Golf, or Wellen Park. I was going to say Wellen Park Golf and Country Club. I do a lot of business. There's a lot of golf down there, just like there is in Lakewood Ranch. But the one difference, and that one thing that could keep the other spouse happy, was the fact that Wellen Park is close to the water. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too down in Wellen Park. Not only do you have a community that's kind of cut from the same cloth as a Lakewood Ranch, albeit smaller, it's about 1/3 of the size of Lakewood Ranch. That kind of tells you how big Lakewood Ranch is in scope. But it has a lot of the same offerings in terms of amenities, great downtown area, and it happens to be closer to the water. So that's one big reason that homeowners, when they're deciding between Wellen Park and Lakewood Ranch, may consider Wellen Park. It's closer to the water. Okay, number 2 on the list is Lakewood Ranch is closer to downtown Sarasota. And that, to me, is a big deal. You know, of course, Wellen Park's got them on the water, but in terms of proximity to one of the epicenters in the state of Florida, and let's face it, an epicenter in terms of the whole country, Sarasota is routinely named in the top 5 of places to live in the entire country. And I think something just came out with U.S. News and World Report that Sarasota is the place to be. So downtown Sarasota is a big deal, and right now it's brimming with excitement because there's a lot of development, shops and restaurants, new open green spaces and parks going downtown. So it's kind of like when I would sell people on Lakewood Ranch and why it's so awesome, part of that discussion was always about being close to downtown Sarasota and having access to all that Sarasota offers. Let's not forget, it's a big cultural epicenter too. Ringling Museum is right there in Sarasota, and the history around that and the historic nature of what Sarasota offers is a big draw for a lot of people. And the downtown, if you haven't been down to Main Street, it's just so cool. It's got it has vestiges of the old Sarasota with some quaint shops and restaurants, and it also has a lot of modern architecture associated with some of these new condo complexes that are coming up. So it's a very eclectic environment, and a lot of people like to go down, maybe grab something to eat at Cara Gargiulo's in downtown Sarasota and spend the night on the town and then head back to Lakewood Ranch. It's not that you can't get to downtown Sarasota from Wellen Park. It's just a little bit further away, just like the beach is from Lakewood Ranch. But having that accessibility to downtown Sarasota for me is a big deal. I happen to live in the Ringling Museum District, and I kind of have the best of both worlds because I'm at the right angle of Lakewood Ranch in Sarasota. I get the charm and the everything that comes with the old associated with Sarasota, old Sarasota, and then I also have the shiny new quarter in Lakewood Ranch, so I can have my cake and eat it too with these two great areas to live in. So that's number 2. Lakewood Ranch is closer to downtown Sarasota. All right, number 3, Wellen Park is going to be more walkable than Lakewood Ranch. Now, what does that exactly mean? Well, Wellen Park is, again, I think I mentioned this before, a third of the size of Lakewood Ranch. That's kind of a big deal. Just by that very nature, you're going to recognize that Wellen Park is going to be a little bit more walkable than Lakewood Ranch. So when you go into Wellen Park, you have this centralized hub in terms of the downtown, and the communities are clustered around it. So if you want to hop on your golf cart, go down to downtown, grab something to eat, and go back home, that's kind of a nice feature. Everything with it is within grasp. Differently in Lakewood Ranch, because it grew so large, they don't even have one main street right now. They have 2. They started out with the first one, and they had a cluster of communities around it. And as the popularity took off with Lakewood Ranch, they basically outgrew that main street, and they developed another one in Waterside Place. Now, that's a good problem to have. That just shows how popular Lakewood Ranch is. But as a result, it's not like you can walk to one downtown to another downtown, right? You're going to have to take a car to get there. So it's not the end of the world. It's just a larger community than Wellen Park. So those are some of the differences, or one of the big differences that people say, hey, we like the Wellen Park area in the sense that we can get to a lot of things really quickly and then head back home. It's kind of a little bit more of an intimate arrangement there. Whereas Lakewood Ranch, you're going to start to have clusters of commercial activity to service various aspects of the communities in the area. So that's number 3. Wellen Park is just a little bit more walkable than Lakewood Ranch. And let's head on to number 4. All right, number 4, and this is near and dear to all my golfers. Lakewood Ranch is going to have access to more bundled golf course communities. Now, if we're just talking golf, Venice and Wellen Park area are going to give every bit of, the run for the money with Lakewood Ranch, because there's a multitude of golf courses in either area. But since bundled golf right now is the name of the game, a lot of people love the concept of bundled golf and what it offers, the resort style amenities if you happen to golf. The approachability from affordable luxury aspect is very appealing to people that love bundled golf. And Lakewood Ranch right now has quite a bit to offer. You have Esplanade Lakewood Ranch, Esplanade at Azario, Lakewood National, and if I have to include Riverstrand because that's where it all kind of started for Lakewood Ranch. Riverstrand, although it's not in Lakewood Ranch, I kind of call it Lakewood Ranch Light because it's right on the perimeter of Lakewood Ranch. So you have 4 bundled golf course communities within close proximity. So you have a lot of apples to choose from. One's a Red Delicious, one's a Granny Smith, one's a Fuji Apple. They're all apples. They all taste great. They're just a little bit different from one another, and that means you have choices. So Lakewood Ranch has a variety of bundled golf course communities for you to pick and choose from, which is great. And I can take you through all of them because I've sold hundreds of them. Now, Wellen Park now, they actually have 2 bundled golf course communities. They have Sarasota National and the new Wellen Park Golf and Country Club, which we've sold a lot in recently because it's just in such a terrific area. and it's gosh, it's popular. It has, again, condos probably starting in the threes, and it goes all the way up to verandas, to coaches, to single family homes. So you have a lot of variety to choose from Wellen Park, and that's really the only game in town if you want new construction for bundle golf. But again, you only have 2 communities, or 2 bundle golf course communities, to pick from down there. Again, it's not that you don't have a variety of other golf courses around there, and there's some fabulous golf courses. If you don't want to do bundle golf and you want to buy a home like in Wisteria with Neil Communities, and buy a villa, and you want to buy a golf membership separate and apart from the home, you can do that really easy. Plantation Golf and Country Club is just right down the road. So you have options. It's not just about bundle golf, but since bundle golf is so popular today, the nod is going to go to Lakewood Ranch right now, because they just have more holes of golf to offer and more communities too. So that is golf courses in a nutshell relative for Wellen Park versus Lakewood Ranch. All right, so those are the 4 things that we have that we talked about, that in terms of criteria that a lot of homeowners or prospective homeowners ask me when considering Wellen Park versus Lakewood Ranch. Again, to recap, Wellen Park is going to be a little bit closer to the water, whereas Lakewood Ranch is going to be a little bit closer to downtown Sarasota, which of course is worth its weight in gold. Number 3, Wellen Park is going to be more walkable compared to Lakewood Ranch, and that's principally because, hey, it's a third of the size of Lakewood Ranch. And then 4, Lakewood Ranch is going to have the edge in terms of bundle golf course communities, and since that's all the rage right now with the bundle golf, we wanted to include that because we know that's a pretty important component for a lot of people in when they're looking in Southwest Florida. So if you have any questions and you want some help understanding which one might be a better fit for you, it's kind of a 1A and a 1B. Probably both could work, but it's going to come down to, of course, the community you're looking at and the availability of homes in your budgetary range. And we can help you with that because we sell a lot in both of these communities. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're rolling out new content every 2 weeks, and we will see you soon.